The unseen spark. In a bustling classroom on the diverse planet of Celtran, a Kiltan child sat among students from countless races. The Kiltan child, seated in the front row, raised its primary limb, capturing the teacher's attention. It was rare for a child of such a young age to show interest in galactic history, but learning about the liberation of one's race by a species that had sacrificed everything had a way of captivating even the most naïve minds. The teacher, an elderly Elenian, paused, studying the child who had asked the question. The Kiltan child still bore the genetic markers from centuries of slavery and biological conditioning. Yet, even after just a few generations of freedom, these markers were fading. When the Kiltan child inquired about the humans who had liberated their race, the teacher knew the story would be a poignant one. Why did the humans help us? The Kiltan child asked, its large eyes wide with curiosity. The teacher smiled gently, a flicker of pride in their eyes. Because someone had to, they replied, echoing the words of the human ambassador who had once stood before the Galactic Council. The bold declaration. Years earlier, in the Grand Hall of the Galactic Council, an elderly human ambassador stood before an assembly of diverse species. Dressed in a simple, well-tailored suit, he leaned heavily on an old wooden cane, the result of an old war injury. The room was filled with murmurs and laughter, the council members visibly irritated by the humans' presence. Humanity was a young race, a mere 300,000 years from their evolutionary ancestors. Their history was marked by many dark truths. But from these truths, they had drawn strength and wisdom. The ambassador knew he had one chance to make a lasting impression. Humanity has known slavery, the ambassador began, his voice strong despite his frail appearance. Only 300 years ago, its practice was finally abolished among my people. We believe the practice abhorrent, a belief that any one lineage, nation, or species is inherently subservient is folly. The chamber erupted in angry murmurs. The council members grew restless, simmering with rage at the humans' bold statements. But the ambassador stood his ground, speaking of the wars fought to end such beliefs, the laws passed to ensure basic rights for all humans. The unyielding proposal. The human ambassador continued, facing the council directly. I have been directed by my leaders to put forth a motion to the council. The practice of slavery is to be abolished, and all species are to be given free and equal standing on the Senate, worlds of their birth, and any former colonies shall return to their own rule, and reparations shall be paid. The room exploded with outrage. Accusations, threats, and insults flew at the ambassador, but he remained calm. The eldest of the council races, a towering creature with scaled hide and a crooked fang jaw, rose to speak. The Celent have ruled the stars for thousands of years, the elder declared. Tell your leaders that no upstart younglings will dictate to the council. Yours shall be just another footnote in history. The ambassador smiled, a hint of amusement in his eyes. A young race we are, yes, but 400 years ago, we landed on our home world's moon. 20 years prior, we split the atom. 40 years before that, we discovered flight. We have known war without end for all of our 200 millennia of existence. Should you choose war, you shall quickly learn how far we have come from the first fire-hardened spear to now. The inevitable conflict. The call for war echoed through the Senate, eagerly received by the council. The ambassador knew this was the only outcome. As the Grand Admiral of the punitive fleet prepared for battle, the Celent counselor remained dismissive of the humans' capabilities. They have been spacefaring for only 400 years, the counselor scoffed. The Celent have ruled the stars for thousands. Their place among the stars shall be at our feet. The fleet, consisting of 117 vessels from various Senate species, assembled near a dead star. Suddenly, energy spikes were detected. Unknown ships surrounded the fleet, and chaos erupted. The Grand Admiral struggled to understand the situation as the fleet fired upon itself, missiled by a series of microsatellites planted by the humans. The turning tide. As the confusion continued, the human fleet emerged from FTL, ready to engage. The Grand Admiral and the Silent Counselor were stunned by the humans' ingenuity. The humans had turned the Council's own fleet against itself, showcasing their strategic brilliance. The humans' attack was swift and devastating. The punitive fleet, once a symbol of the Council's power, was now a scattered, confused mess. The humans' message was clear. They would not bow to the Council's tyranny. The aftermath. The battle raged on, but the outcome was inevitable. The Council's fleet, unprepared for the humans' tactics, was decimated. The Silent Counselor, once so confident, now faced the harsh reality of the humans' capabilities. As the dust settled, the human ambassador's words echoed through the minds of those who had witnessed the conflict. "We have known war without end for all of our existence. Should you choose war, you shall quickly learn how far we have come." The New Dawn. In the aftermath of the battle, the Galactic Council was forced to reconsider its stance on slavery. The humans had proven their strength and resolve, earning the respect and fear of the Council members. The practice of slavery was abolished, and all species were given free and equal standing on the Senate. The Kiltan child, having heard the story from their teacher, felt a sense of pride and gratitude. The humans had become heroes, not just for their own race, but for countless others. The lesson was clear. Sometimes someone has to stand up against injustice, even if it means facing overwhelming odds. As the children left the classroom, their minds were filled with the possibilities of a future where freedom and equality reigned. The story of the humans' bravery and determination would inspire generations to come, a testament to the power of standing up for what is right.